How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, "Happy Friday!" Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify is there to help you grow. Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome to the Jello Jiggling Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and the Lakers are coming off a pretty bad loss to the one team they probably never want to lose to. I mean, they don't want to lose to any teams, but the Denver Nuggets just seem to have this team's number for whatever reasons. Denver, who just got torched last night by the Knicks, gave up 145 to Brunson and company, but they crushed the Lakers by 25 earlier, or was that on Saturday? Following the last second loss to the Orlando Magic, where Franz Wagner hit that game-winning three-pointer, and then AD shot an air ball after missing, was it 2-3 free throws in crunch time? Not great. The Lakers over the last few years have had a knack for having these highs and lows, right? It's basically been a roller coaster ride, going up and down and up and down. This, with the emotions being like that for the players, for the coaches, for the fans especially, hasn't been great. And, the Lakers went on that 6-game win streak and seemed to be firing on all cylinders, AD getting all this MVP buzz. I mean, for the first time in his career, he's really gotten that MVP buzz to where it seemed legit that if he could keep that up, he could win the award. I mean, it's super early in the season, and these things get thrown out there all the time, just like Dalton Knecht with the Rookie of the Year, which I still believe he is very capable of winning. Him and Jared McCain seem to have like a two-man race for that right now. But as for the Lakers, that loss just seemed, the team seemed to lack a kind of, I guess, a sense of urgency. Knowing full well it was a statement game against one of the best teams in the West, a team that has just kicked their ass for the last, 2-3 years. And then, in the playoffs last year, they got bounced in the first round in 5 games. I went to 2 of those games in Denver and covered those, and it was rough to watch because for some reason, it doesn't seem like, no matter how down Denver gets, like they could be down by 20 at any point in the game, and they always claw back. Like they always get back into it and just simply have the Lakers number. They have this weird mental edge. And, sadly enough, that mental edge really seems more impactful on AD than anybody else. He just seemed very passive and not interested in imposing his will on that game against Jokic. Jokic is not a great defensive player. He's just not. He is an elite all-timer offensively. I mean, he can do anything on the offensive side of the floor. But when it comes to defense, that's the flaw in his game. But for whatever reason, AD just seemed reluctant to go at him. Like he did not put any pressure on Jokic to work defensively, which is awful because whenever you do that and you wear out a guy like that who's not in elite shape by any means, he's not going to be the same player offensively. Like you go at him, you try and get in foul trouble, you try and change the game that way, and it just didn't happen. Just AD just seemed checked out. I mean, it's not like it didn't seem like maybe it was a choice. I don't know. It's just if you watch the game over, he wasn't the same guy. He just wasn't. I think he went into the half with like single digits scoring. He just didn't seem to make an impact on the game. I mean, if it weren't for AD, they would have gotten completely out-rebounded, and they did get out-rebounded, but it would have been a different game had AD not, hit the boards. And I don't even think he had a huge game in that department, but it was concerning. It was concerning to see that kind of effort from this guy who's been getting MVP buzz for, the last month or so. And it was a statement game. It was a big game. It was on Saturday night. It was in LA. Everybody was watching it. Everybody wanted to see if the Lakers had finally taken a step forward and gotten over this Denver hump that is just totally, it's been a black cloud over their heads for years now. And then after the game, I thought it was a little annoying that Redick was kind of deflecting the fact that there is a mental edge here that goes to the past. I think he said it's not a thing about goes to the past. Clearly it is, dude. You were a completely different team. The energy was completely different. At least with the Orlando, you had a fight. There was a fight there to the end. They should have won that game against Orlando. They should have. Just things changed quickly at the end of the fourth quarter. Franz in that three, AD missing those free throws before that, and then a really bad inbounds play that resulted in an air ball from AD, a turnaround air ball that was well defended. It just an unfortunate series of events that happened in the end for that to fall apart. But with Denver, they didn't have a chance. I mean, they didn't show any fight. There was nobody really. I mean, I think Reeves played pretty well, but not great. Connect came off the bench because Rui was back, which I think was a big problem that needs to be addressed. I think Rui's better suited off the bench with D'Lo, and those two being kind of the force off the bench for the Lakers moving forward, and Connect playing with the starters and getting those shots because he's playing with starters and people that demand attention, right? I mean, Connect still got starters minutes, but the flow wasn't there. He wasn't getting shots. He only put up a few shots. I mean, I'm going to go back and look at it right now, but I think 7 shots. I think he got 7 shots. It just, the guy needs more. He's consistent. He's efficient. He's a force to be reckoned with. All the teams know it now. It's not a question of if anymore. It's that he's legit. He is legit. He's part of scouting reports now. Don't give this guy open shots. And I don't think Denver played that kind of basketball to where they were denying the ball or anything like that. It was just the flow just wasn't there. Yeah, he had 7 shots. He went 3 for 7, 1 for 4 from deep for 9 points. I mean, in 28 minutes, he didn't make an impact. And Rui played 22. So I don't understand what's the point of putting Rui. I guess Rui's a bigger body, and Denver's a bit of a physical team, but so is Orlando. So I don't know, man. I think that's an issue that I hope JJ figures that out before tonight's game against Phoenix, because this is another game I think they need to win in order to, for one, get back on track. 2 consecutive losses against 2 very good teams. This would be 3 against very good teams. I know Phoenix hasn't been the same without Durant, who's been playing at a crazy high level. But Durant's back tonight, and so is Bradley Beal, of course, because we're playing the Lakers, and everybody's got to get healthy when they play the Lakers. It's a game on the road. They got to play Phoenix, and I think it's a back-to-back against San Antonio in San Antonio tomorrow. Let me check that one too. It's a brutal. I mean, I've been saying this over the past, I don't know what, 2 weeks, that this trip is going to be rough. This stretch of games, starting with Orlando, and it's already proven to be a gauntlet, right? Then they got Phoenix. Yes, so they play San Antonio tomorrow, day before Thanksgiving. They're off on Thanksgiving, and then they play the biggest game out of this stretch against OKC. I thought the biggest game was Denver, but now, OKC is going to really put them to the test on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. But they got to get through these first 2. I mean, I think the San Antonio game could be a game that's overlooked a bit just because it's San Antonio and they haven't been great over the last few years, but they seem to be turning it around too. I mean, they gave the Lakers a run last time. They've won some big games. They beat OKC recently. They're by no means a pushover anymore. So they're a legit threat. I mean, they're on a 3-game win streak against OKC, Utah, which ain't saying much, and then they just beat Golden State, who's the top team in the West at the moment. They're no joke, man. They've won 5 out of the last 7. So they're not, a serious threat, but they can beat the Lakers. They have the ability, which sucks for the Lakers because they got a back-to-back against, one team that wants to be considered the best in the West or one of the best in the West, and a team that's trying to prove themselves. 2 teams with agendas, and want to make something happen this year. I'd say coming into tonight's game, the one positive that the Lakers have is they're getting Jaxson Hayes back, or at least he's expected to play tonight. I think he's listed as probable. We're going to get those updates in a couple of hours here, but all signs pointing that way. I think he talks in the media at practice, and everybody's talking about that. He was the big talking point. Austin Reeves saying that this is a direct quote from practice on Monday. Jaxson was playing really well before he tweaked his ankle. He was playing at a high level, gave our bench bench unit a big boost in many aspects, but one definitely was defensively. He was doing a really good job with his verticality at the rim. I will say he does change the game. He does a little bit. I mean, he's not a game changer per se defensively, but he's a decent player. He's okay. He's played better than expected this year, which isn't saying much because I didn't expect much from the guy. And all the rumors you keep hearing out of LA is that they're still going for a big man. So they're clearly not satisfied with Hayes, and they shouldn't be, because they do need another big, and they can't keep leaning on AD this way because I don't think his body will hold up. It may not regardless, but having another guy, say Valanciunas, I got Walker Kessler, Nikola Vujacic, somebody like that, Brook Lopez, another guy that they can lean on, that can produce, that's a threat on the floor on both sides. And Hayes, he's better than Koloko, put it that way, at least at the moment. So it's an upgrade. It is an upgrade. He's doing really good at the rim. Reeves is saying he does a lot for our team, and we need him. Like I said, that energy that he brings off the bench, he's contagious. So happy to have him back. So there's that from Reeves. Who else? Somebody else said something. I think Jaxson Hayes praised Koloko for stepping up in his absence. Koloko had his moments. I mean, there's times you forget he's even on the team, which is it's not It's not great, obviously, at all. But he has his moments. He seems like a decent lob threat. Defensively, he's sorely lacking because I don't think he has the size. He's got the height, he just doesn't have the size. So he gets bullied by these big guys. Like I remember the first game he played against Memphis, I believe it was Triple J was just bodying him up. I mean, it came so easy. He just backed him down all the way to the bottom of the basket and easy deuce. And it was automatic. It was just such a flaw, and not great. Obviously, you don't want that if from a guy who you have hopes is going to help in the front court. So let's see they list him as probable to return on Tuesday night. It's an NBA Cup game tonight. If you guys care about that, I do. I think it's interesting. I think the courts are kind of insane, but I still like it. Like I said, I'm a fan of football overseas. Because I'm a big Liverpool guy. My whole family's English, so ever since I've grown up, soccer has been a big game for me, a big sport. And Liverpool's killing it right now, by the way. So I'm on cloud nine, especially with Klopp leaving this past year. I thought we were going to fall apart, and it was going to be back to struggling again, and Man City winning everything. And now it seems like the complete opposite. Man City, they just got destroyed by Tottenham. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. But I think the NBA Cup format in a few years will become very popular. People will look forward to it. It's something just to get things going early in the season, and another thing to win, another trophy for the case, and bragging rights and all that comes with it. Man, I'm kind of exhausted after all that. But I think tonight's game, I'm sure. I bet you. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm going to anticipate Phoenix being favored by a little bit, and I am right. So it's minus 2.5 in Phoenix's favor, and that's kind of probably like a home court advantage thing. But I think this it'll be a battle from start to finish. I don't think it's going to be. They're not as good as Denver. They're not as well put together as Denver. Not as they don't have the chemistry Denver has, but they have the talent. I mean, when KD's locked in, if he's even close to 100%, he's going to be a problem, as he always is, especially against the Lakers. But I did make some picks tonight. I announced last week that I've come to terms on a partnership with Underdog Fantasy. So I'm going to be making picks for every Lakers game. And these are player picks, right? So you pick what did I pick tonight? Tonight was kind of a layup in terms of picks because it seemed very obvious. Maybe you guys won't think the same, but if you're willing to roll the dice, I went with 4 picks, 4 players that have to hit these stats. LeBron James, higher than 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined. I think that's a lock. Anthony Davis just has to record a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and it's done. Kevin Durant has to score higher than 22.5 points. I think that's a lock. And then the one thing that I think might not get there, but I think there's still a really good chance. Devin Booker higher, 31.5 points plus assists. What is his averages right now? So Booker is averaging 24.1 points per game and 6.4. So okay, so the assists are higher than I thought. So that's about right, about even. So I think this is a great bet. If you want to go on there, and if you use my code, if you sign up and deposit, you get whatever you deposited matched up to $1,000, I think it is. And my code is Ryan Ward LA. It's what I have on all my platforms. Make it super easy for everybody, especially myself. And you get a free pick. So you could pick this and potentially win and thank me later. So just go to Underdog Fantasy. So I'm not used to doing this, promoting stuff like this, but I'm into this because I do it. I do it every week. I think it's fun. I got some of my buddies already doing it. They've already won. One of my buddies won 150 the other day. And I think my other buddy, Nader Kamoosh, little shout out, and Jose Rodriguez, who's the one that won 150. Nader won 50 last night, I think. I think you bet NFL, though. But I'm doing NFL as well because expanding my horizons, right? I cover NFL too. I do Raiders coverage for our company. So it's not foreign to me, but I don't really push it on you guys in the NBA and Lakers side of things, but I'm going to because this is part of my partnership. I got to do this 4 times a week, and I'm loving it so far. And I won. What did I win? I won 90 earlier this week. I think I won 70 a couple days ago. So I'm killing it so far. So trust my picks. I'm only going to get better at this the more I do, and so are you guys. And you're gonna find if you know basketball, this is not that difficult to win. I really don't think so. I think the Denver game was kind of an anomaly because it sucked. The bets I put on there, I think it was AD, LeBron, and they both didn't match or get close. Connect was like 2.5 3-pointers higher. That didn't happen because he didn't really get the ball, as I said, and that's part of my frustration there. But go to Underdog Fantasy, download the app. It's easy. It's super user friendly. Even if you're not a tech savvy guy, you're gonna get it pretty easy. Deposit, put my code in, you'll get that money matched, a free pick, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna want to do this every game. I'm gonna do it every game. Because they gave me money to play with. But I get into it because it makes the game that much more fun. Even if you just, it's a game, with teams you don't even care about. Like, it makes it more interesting. It's just more fun. And it's not like you have to put down a ton of money either, just to enjoy yourself. But anyway, long story short, this is a big game. I hope the Lakers come out on top because if they don't, I think there's going to be a lot of narratives thrown out there about, did JJ's going to come under fire? LeBron, AD will come under fire. It's a turning point game, right? And especially with OKC just down the road, and even San Antonio tomorrow, and it being an NBA Cup game. I mean, the Lakers are already 2-0 in the NBA Cup, I believe. So this would be 3. But yeah, gonna be a fun game to watch to get this holiday week underway. So until next time, guys, see ya.